no doubt take to heart. Scott Heidler, AlJazeera, New York.
All right, let's catch up on all the sport now. Here's Sana.
Thank you very much, Darren. Two of the favourites to win cricket's World Cup are playing right now. Sri Lanka are up against Australia in Colombo in a repeat of the 2007 final. Sri Lanka won the toss and elected to bat. They are currently 96 for 3 of 21.2 overs. Meanwhile, the authorities in Bangladesh say they'll tighten player security following the attack on the West Indies team bus on Friday. No one was hurt in the incident, which happened after the Windies' 9-wicket demolition of the co-hosts in Group B. Rahul Pathak wraps up Friday's action.
The heavy security outside the Sher Bangla National Stadium before Friday's game, an indication that authorities were prepared for the worst. But early on, the mood amongst the crowds was one of celebration. After beating Ireland in their last match, the Bangladesh fans knew that a win for their team against the West Indies would go a long way towards securing a quarter-final berth. But after just 3 deliveries of this Group B clash, all that optimism evaporated as the Bangladesh batsmen succumbed to the West Indies bowlers. The crowd briefly found its voice as Junaid Siddiqui hit 25, but when he was dismissed, the innings quickly subsided. 58 all out, the 4th lowest score in World Cup history. It was never going to test the West Indies batsman, Chris Gayle, knocking off the runs with a minimum of fuss in a now near-empty stadium. The West Indies eventually winning by 9 wickets. They go second in Group B. Meanwhile, in Group A, there was a bit more of a contest between Zimbabwe and New Zealand. Zimbabwe at least managed to make it to 3 figures in Ahmedabad, but their final score of 162 was well short of what could be called a competitive total, as New Zealand openers Martin Guptill and Brendan McCullum smashed 166 for the opening wicket. But the real test for the Kiwis will be to repeat this kind of performance against some of the bigger teams in this tournament. Rahul Pathak, AlJazeera.
Football's lawmakers are meeting over the next few hours to discuss whether goal line technology should be introduced in the sport. There was no need for the technology in Italy on Friday. Roma boosted their Champions League qualifying hopes. Mirko Vucinic gave them the lead at Lecce. The home side are struggling towards the foot of Serie A, but equalised for David Pizarro sealed the 2-1 win for Roma in the last minute. They're now just 2 points off that all-important 4th spot. Only one match to be played on Saturday. Juventus host Serie A leaders AC Milan. Juve have no room for errors if they are to keep their hopes of European football alive next season, while Milan are looking to extend their 5 points cushion at the top of the table. In Spain, Real Madrid don't play until Sunday. They have had to step up security around coach Jose Mourinho after a man tried to stab him. 48-year-old Portuguese was attacked as he signed autographs at La Coruña airport, northwestern Spain. Mourinho escaped unhurt, but his bodyguard suffered a 4-centimeter stab wound. The incident happened last Friday, but has only just been reported. Well, Spanish leaders Barcelona are one of 6 teams in action a little later. Barca host Zaragoza. The teams in 3rd and 4th in La Liga both have tough away matches. Valencia travel to Mallorca, while Villarreal are at Atletico Madrid. Manchester United's lead at the top of the English Premier League could be cut to just a point in the next few hours. United travel to Liverpool on Sunday, so Arsenal have a chance to close the gap. Arsenal host struggling Sunderland. The math is simple for the Gunners. Win all their remaining games and they will be crowned champions. And with Sunderland arriving at the Emirates Stadium on the back of 4 straight league defeats, Arsenal boss Arsène Wenger knows this match could be decisive.
For me, highly important that we take advantage of our situation in the Premiership. We battled everywhere since the start of the season against many specialists' opinion that we have no chance at all, and now we are in this situation. It would be very dramatic if we would not consider the importance of a game.
There are 7 matches in total in the English Premier League on Saturday. Birmingham's confidence will be running high after claiming the English League Cup last week. Meanwhile, 3rd place Manchester City will be missing defender Koulibaly as they play Wigan. Toye was suspended after failing a drugs test and has admitted to taking his wife's diet pills. Well, holder Serbia struggling against India in the first round Davis Cup tie. The team, who are without their world number 3, Novak Djokovic, are deadlocked at 1-1 going into Saturday's doubles match. Things are much more straightforward for former champion Spain, as Rafael Nadal gave them the perfect start against Belgium. Nadal beat Ruben Bemalma in straight sets. The Spaniard showed no sign of a thigh injury, which has kept him out of action for a month. The world number 1 hadn't played since his Australian Open quarter-final exit. Earlier, his compatriot Fernando Verdasco beat Javier Malisa, so Spain hold a strong 2-0 lead in the Davis Cup World Group tie. In the NBA, the San Antonio Spurs have thrashed the Miami Heat 125 points to 95. It was their 22nd consecutive home victory, which is a franchise record. Meanwhile, Europe has hosted its first ever NBA game. London was the venue as basketball tries to expand its reach beyond North America. Ashley House was there.
The NBA describes itself as burning competition, blazing athleticism and sizzling excitement. And basketball has always been seen as quintessentially American. But the bosses know that new audiences mean new fans, and that means ticket sales, merchandising and revenue.
The fans here demanded that we bring over a regular season game. There's enormous interest here for it, and it's also a bit of an experiment. I think David Stern has talked in the past about one day potentially having a division of NBA teams based in Europe.
But is there really a European audience for basketball? Or will it always be squeezed out by the more traditional spectator sports?
It's too difficult with teams coming over all the time, back and forth.
We love the mascots, the cheerleaders.
And they sell pizza for free.
And you get free pizza if they score so many points, and it's just so much fun.
Friday's game between the New Jersey Nets and the Toronto Raptors had all the razzmatazz you'd expect from the NBA, although a little dampened by the two teams' poor league positions. When Toronto played New York in the NBA's first ever game, the players, officials and fans could never have envisaged that 65 years later there'd be matches on the other side of the world. And yet in 2011, following on from Japan and Mexico, London is hosting regular season games.
Now, as it happens, these games may not really be that significant in terms of the destination of the 2011 NBA Championship, but in terms of the future globally of the sport of basketball, they may just turn out to be the most important since that one back in 1946.
In Game 1 of the back-to-back series, New Jersey broke a 6-game losing streak with a 116-103 points victory. Brook Lopez top-scored for the Nets with 25, and all-star Darren Williams finished with 11 assists in what was technically a home game for New Jersey. Even 30 points from DeMar DeRozan couldn't prevent the Raptors losing their 12th straight on the road. Toronto, though, have their chance for revenge on Saturday. Ashley House, Al Jazeera.
American Lindsey Vonn has retained her World Cup Super Combined title by claiming second place in a thrilling final race. Going into the event, the Olympic downhill champion knew she needed to beat overall leader